What's going on, guys? Devatron in the building. Me and my boy D-Money are giving you the top 10 of our favorite best movies of all time. He has 5 of his. I have 5 of mine. Introduce yourself, D-Money.
Yeah, I'm D-Money on the mic. ESN Corporation, Entertainment Sports News. Tonight we'll be giving you folks a rundown of the top 5 greatest motion pictures of all time. And these are straight off the top of our head. You know, genres we like. It doesn't have to be a musical.
It is our list.
Doesn't have to be from the 50s. Doesn't have to be what the critics on TV like to say are the best.
Yep.
Because, you know, between me and probably the rest of the world, you know, we like what we like.
Exactly.
And
well said.
What makes us like a movie comes down to 3 things.
What's that?
Okay. Number 1 is the plot.
Ooh.
Okay. The plot is everything. The plot is what indulges the audience.
Bing.
Now, if it's a plot where it doesn't make sense, if it's a plot that doesn't click, if it's a plot that has holes, it's not going to be a good film.
We ain't going to watch that shit.
No, not at all. Number two is acting. All right. Acting is
Leonardo.
An actor, taking a role and becoming that particular person. Okay? Not, DEVATRON'S favorite, DiCaprio. And I love him as well. But, you know, there are some issues that I have with him. He's a great actor, don't get me wrong.
I'm sure we'll get to those issues.
Yeah, we'll get into that as well. And
I don't see it.
The third has to be the actual screenplay. And that could tie into the plot, but how well the screenplay was written.
Introduce the screenplay. Yeah, for people that don't know what a screenplay is, enlighten them.
Well, the screenplay is basically the storyline written out.
Right.
And written out in a sense where it breaks down each character, their dialogue, what they're going to say, where they're saying it, where each event takes place.
Seems like a lot of work.
There's 2 types of screenplays. There's adapted screenplay and there's original screenplay.
Yeah.
Adapted screenplay is material driven from a book. Right? For example, Jurassic Park screenplay was not Steven Spielberg's screenplay. Even though he directed the movie, it was his idea to make it a movie. It was a novel by Michael Crichton.
Was it?
In the early 90s. Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So Michael Crichton wrote that film. I'm just giving you folks an example if you're not too familiarized with screenplays. And this is not the only video that me and Devatron are going to be doing.
Yeah.
Based on movies, okay? We'll be doing many different
Yeah, we're heavy into movies here.
TV shows that are like movies nowadays. Now, I feel as if TV shows have become movies. Such as Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Walking Dead. I mean, AMC has portrayed television series almost as into movies. Now, of course, you're not going to make a 24-hour movie. That's impossible.
No,
you know, if the show has 2,000 shows, you can't make it 2,000.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to get the story of Breaking Bad into a motion picture at all. It would just be.
No, but I've seen. Sorry to cut you off, Devatron. But when I get on a topic, I get on a topic.
I see.
But I've seen over the last years that movies have actually downgraded themselves and TV has upgraded. Because think that.
I see that.
I mean, folks, let's go back. Let's go back to the early 90s. Let's go back to the mid-90s. What did you have on TV then? You had 30-minute comedy shows with Tim Allen and Home Improvement. You had Full House.
Seinfeld.
You had Boy Meets World. CSI and what's that show with
Law and Order?
And I don't even think those are considered to be like movies, but that's when TV took a turn for the better. You know, that's when TV actually branched out and became like movies, but I wouldn't even consider those two movies. So those three right there are what make a film.
Yeah, and piggybacking off of this, we'll be doing reviews on movies that come out, and TV shows. Better Call Saul on Monday nights we'll be reviewing, and when Walking Dead comes back on in October, we'll be reviewing those as well. So that's just a little heads up for what we'll be doing.
You know, I might do a 3A, 3B with screenplay and direction, because if you have a bad director and you have a great screenplay, chances are you're not going to have a great movie, because the director is how he puts it onto the silver screen, is as how he puts it out to the viewer's eye.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm gonna start off with my number 10.
Well, 5.
Greatest film.
You're doing 5.
All right, let's go with 5.
Yeah.
I was excited with 10. But,
I know. The 10's a good number. 10's a good number.
Our availability here on this show.
Insert Ty Dillinger's 10 right now. 10. Okay. All right. Sorry.
I'm going to go with the 1990 crime classic Goodfellas.
That's number 5 for you,
now, yeah, number 5 for me, Goodfellas. I could even put this higher on my list, but there's so many great movies out there.
Lower.
So many great actors in these movies where I can't go against them. Goodfellas, it had a lot of awards in the 90s. Joe Pesci took home the Best Supporting Actor in 91. I mean, the movie was released in 91. Also understand, folks, whenever the movie gets released, Oscars are always in February, so it's the following year. So in 91, the Oscars in 91 in February, Joe Pesci took home the Best Supporting role for that film. And he was absolutely
breathtaking.
Incredible.
What about the scene where he's talking to Ray Liotta in that bar?
Where he shot Spider.
And he's like, Michael, you think I'm funny? You think I'm funny? That was one of the best scenes I've ever seen.
You may be thinking of a different scene. I'm talking about the scene where Joe Pesci, Tommy DeVito is his character in the movie, requests a drink from Spider, who is Michael Imperioli, who played Christopher on The Sopranos, which is probably one of my all-time favorite shows, if not my favorite show. And
I'll disagree with that.
I don't want to spoil it for you folks.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! You got to say it.
No, I'm not going to say it because it's too good of a film to ruin for people who haven't seen it. It's a 2.5-hour film. I mean, but it's got it all, folks. It's got murder. It's got sex. It's got profanity.
We all love sex.
Shooting, tons of violence, tons of drugs, and I know that's what sells. And you know what? Movies aren't made like this anymore. And it's a Scorsese film. And it's when Scorsese is in his prime.
Yeah, top of his game.
You also have, Ray Liotta, and you have Robert De Niro in the film.
I'm not a big Ray Liotta fan. I don't know. He kind of fell off.
Yeah.
But that's when he was in his prime. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna definitely go with Goodfellas as my top 5 all-time greatest films.
Your list.
How about yourself?
Oof, this was tough. This was really tough between the number 5 I was gonna pick. I guess we may have the same one here. But Forrest Gump is number 5.
Forrest Gump. That's a good choice.
Forrest Gump. How can you go wrong with Forrest Gump? You got Tom Hanks. It's best role ever to me, I believe. He's had so many great roles. Oh my goodness. That guy, if Leo's my number 1, he's number 2 easily. Tom Hanks. You don't like him anymore because there's reasons, but Forrest Gump, he just dove right into that character and became Forrest. Run, Forrest, run. You hear that forever because of that movie. It was well directed by Zemeckis. The score, one of the best ever, if not the best ever. Like, it brings you to time periods. Forrest is handshaking John F. Kennedy. He's playing football for Alabama. He's in Vietnam War. He's running across the country in Arizona and whatever. And then he says, I'm going to stop. What did he say? I'm going to stop and go home now or whatever. It was just all the culture back then. Oh, the civil rights movement, everything. It was all wrapped up in one movie. It was just brilliant. Brilliant. What are your thoughts on Forrest Gump?
Oh, I love the films. I really do. I mean, I think that movie depicted the 60s, 50s.
Yeah, like I just said.
Not too much of 70s. Amazingly. That was better than probably any film out there.
Easily.
And I also think Sinise got rocked, but you know what?
Who won that year?
On Ed Wood. He got nominated in 95, 94, if you want to say, because the movie came out. But he lost to Martin Landau, Ed Wood, which I don't think anyone was beating Martin Landau out here. He played Lagasse, and probably anyone.
Did Zemeckis win Best Director?
Oh yeah, that might be
of course.
That year. That was one of the toughest years for movies. Movies that were released in '94. You had Shawshank Redemption. You had Pulp Fiction. You had Forrest Gump.
Oh yeah.
You had. I mean,
you can't get better than that year, man. Oh.
You had Quiz Show. You had so many movies out there.
Let me play a. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go with my top four. This one was a really tough one for me to decide on because I had a few movies that I wanted to throw out there, but I'm going to put The Wolf of Wall Street.
Wow.
On number 4 in my top 5.
Wolf of Wall Street.
You know, a lot of people are probably going to disagree with me with this movie. I know it probably has some flaws, but in my opinion,
it's your opinion. Yeah, it's your opinion. It's your list. This is not, you know.
I think it's another Scorsese film. So, I mean, if we want to look at it like the Scorsese is probably one of my favorite directors of all time. I think the acting done by Leonardo DiCaprio was amazing. It's Jordan Belfort. I think Jonah Hill did an amazing job.
Yes.
As Donnie. I think
John Berthwell.
Yeah, he was on for what, a minute, 2 minutes.
But he still.
But I think he did a great job.
Yep.
Rock Reiner in that film.
Yep.
Jon Favreau had a very brief scene as a FBI /
Did you compliment Margot Robbie?
Margot Robbie was amazing. Surprised she didn't get a nom for that movie, including John Berthwell. Great cast, great film, great cinematography, great screenplay all around. Great direction. Kept me at the edge of my feet. You know what I also like movies for? I also like movies because the good movies depict the generations, how they should have been depicted. And movies that take place in the 70s and you see, Chevy Dodge Chargers in the 2000s driving around, I don't have any respect for that. If you want to make a good movie,
get
make
back
it feel like you're in the 80s. Yeah. Make it feel like you're in the 90s. And Wolf of Wall Street definitely did that for me. True story. Definitely true story. And
Jordan Belfort.
Wow.
Yeah. I never seen a more.
A lot of money.
I never seen a more beautiful woman than Margot Robbie in that scene where she opens up, ready for Leo to come in bed. That was some type of scene. I wish I could put a clip in there for you guys right now, but that wouldn't be possible because this video will probably be banned. But her body is amazing.
I don't understand how a movie like that gets 5 Oscars and does not win one.
Sure.
I guess maybe because the screenplay was adapted. The picture, what did it go against that year?
2000.
12 Years a Slave, which was an amazing movie. Not my favorite, not a type of movie I would include in my top 5, but still. Yeah. It was a tough movie to beat. But
let's replay it.
Other than that, if that wasn't up there, that should have been the best picture of the year.
I agree. I love
the Academy hates on it.
Yeah, they thought it was too raunchy, maybe. I heard some critics.
Yeah, well,
But that's,
There's no way Leo wins the Academy Award for Best Actor in a comedy.
It wasn't a comedy,
and
was
it
it?
loses. Well, according to them, it was. Had a lot of jokes. I don't understand how The Martian was nominated for a comedy.
Yeah, because it's
Edward Scissorhands in '91 nominated for a comedy, made me tear. Don't get it.
It happens.
So,
all right. I'll go with my number 4. I don't think anybody would agree with me, but I've never watched the movie more times than I've watched this movie, and I'm pretty sure D Money knows where I'm going with this one. It is a Christopher Nolan Space Odyssey, Interstellar, featuring Matthew McConaughey. Featuring.
You might be the only person in America to have that as your top 5.
Well, it's my list. I've never watched the movie more times than I've watched this. I feel comfortable watching this movie all the time, and I've never gotten sick of it. You got the cinematography done by Christopher Nolan, like how he puts you in the movie. He basically puts you in the movie. All his sets are made. There's rarely any green screen. He uses the whole ship. He builds the ship himself. It's just a marvel to watch him work as a director, and I can't wait for Dunkirk to come out in the summer, July, and
well, I'm interested in that.
But this movie just the concept is amazing. Wormholes and going into another galaxy. We could talk about stuff like that for hours. I could talk.
Listen, don't get me wrong. Christopher Nolan is an amazing director. You know, he puts some movies out sometimes that you don't understand, but at the end, if you watch it twice, you do understand.
You have to watch it twice. Yeah.
And I don't think there's anyone in Hollywood that makes movies in depth.
Yes.
To the T.
Yes.
On how it is Christopher Nolan does.
And it's in his head. It's all in his head. He's really a creator, man. Inception, which
he's like the reality version of Steven Spielberg. Spielberg is more of a fantasy guy. He's more of a reality.
Yes, guy. And all his movies are like mind benders. He loves to put an idea out there, people to think about over and over again, and all his movies have hype around them. So if there's a Christopher Nolan movie coming out, you know your ass is going to go watch it. So this movie, definitely, I've watched it more than any movie that I've ever seen. So that's on my list. So go to your number.
Well, on to my number 3. My number 3, I don't think anyone could complain with this. You might even argue that this may be a 1 or 2. It's Gladiator. Ridley Scott, 2000.
Great movie.
I mean, the movie had 0 flaws. I can't detect any flaws that that movie had. Effects, sound, costumes, acting, which I think Joaquin Phoenix got robbed that year.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. Are you not entertained? That's what he said.
The movie was not even a screenplay adapted from a book. Okay? The movie itself, and I forgot to mention to you folks, if you're looking to watch Goodfellas, there is a book. Okay, there's a book that was written because that was an adapted screenplay. That wasn't an original screenplay. That was a book that was written, I believe, in the mid-'80s. I'd say around '86 or so. The book, highly recommended. It's called Wise Guy. The author. The author. Yeah, I know the author. People like punk here, and I'm a big book guy.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's a 1986 book. Nicholas Pileggi, okay? And that book was based on the life of Henry Hill. That book will explain everything to you. So if you're into books and you want to read the book before watching the movie, I highly recommend reading that book. I mean, anybody between the ages of 20 and 45 has probably seen Goodfellas. I'd probably say 97% of y'all.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm from the north. I shouldn't say y'all.
Wow, you said y'all.
Yeah, you all.
Oh man,
but definitely read the book.
That is on camera forever, or YouTube. So you said y'all.
The reason I put Gladiator above these movies is that Gladiator was a movie directed by Ridley Scott, who's an amazing director. Okay, who did Alien, the original Alien. And a lot of other movies too. I think he did Blade Runner, which I've never seen.
Never seen
and it's an original screenplay.
I can't wait for Blade Runner, the new one. Blade Runner, I'm sorry.
It's basically Ben-Hur of the new millennium. The movie came out in 2000, way before its time. I could just imagine that movie on the screen in 2017 with the effects nowadays. The movie won 5 Oscars. I mean, it should have won score, it should have won other things. I just don't understand how it didn't win screenplay, how it didn't win best supporting, because I think Joaquin Phoenix is right up there with Russell Crowe, and how Ridley Scott didn't win director for that movie. I don't know how in the world you give, well, Steven Soderbergh Traffic, I can understand. There's another grade. We're going to do a top 20.
Well, the money,
Traffic.
He, ever since Gladiator, Ridley Scott probably got a hangover from Gladiator and hasn't put out any good movies ever since. Would you agree?
No. Well, he really doesn't have to. I mean, he had The Martian, but I'm not a fan of that movie. I don't understand it. People, please comment on it.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to know your opinion.
We love that.
Why
yes.
The Golden Globe Academy would have The Martian under a comedy.
Musical and comedy.
It is not a comedy. There was one joke being made, maybe when he was being filmed from Mars, when he was planting food and making a couple jokes. Well, Matt Damon's not a comedian.
No.
That's an action, adventure, drama movie, and sci-fi.
Yeah, wait, was Castaway? Was Castaway in Golden Globes as a musical?
Castaway would have to be a drama.
I know, but was it? Let me see.
It had to be a drama. I mean, there's no other way. 2 Oscars. We got sound, and you had.
Yep.
No, it was a drama.
It was a drama. It was for sure.
So, on to DEVATRO'N'S number 3.
Yeah, like, but that was the same type of movie. Castaway was the same type of movie as The Martian, but I love Castaway a lot better. Going on to my number 3. This is. Oh man, it's tough, man.
I kind of know what he's gonna say.
Nope. Saving Private Ryan is my number 3 pick.
Good choice, but I'm not a fan of war movies.
Wow. Well, this is the best war movie I've ever seen. Steven Spielberg.
It's a great movie.
I think this is my favorite Steven Spielberg movie. Oh, this is a lot of Tom Hanks. This is my second Tom Hanks on the list here. But how can you go wrong with this movie? Like, talk about Matt Damon. His role was pretty. It wasn't the biggest, part, but he made you sympathize with him because his family. It's 4 brothers. Was it 3 or 4? I think 3. 3 of his brothers got killed in combat. Tom Hanks and company. In one of the worst missions imaginable. Go and try to rescue Matt Damon's character. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, which I'm sure you should have seen it by now. It's 1999 it came out. You can't go wrong. I think it's Vin Diesel's first role. I just love the movie. It was the most graphic and realistic war movie I've ever seen. Hacksaw Ridge recently was very good. You agree with that as well, right?
Oh yeah, Hacksaw Ridge for a movie in 2016, 17, yes.
Beautifully done by Mel Gibson. Vince Vaughn's one of his best performances maybe ever. I recommend going and watch Hacksaw Ridge if you haven't already. That is a excellent watch. Saving Private Ryan might have been a long movie. It's not for the weak-hearted, but it is a surefire top 10 all-time movie. And that's all I got to say about Saving Private Ryan. It's a great movie.
Well, I'm going on to my number 2 all-time greatest movies of all time, which was already said, and that's going to be Forrest Gump.
There it is.
And the reason I'm going with Forrest Gump is because I think it was probably the best role Tom Hanks has ever done and will ever do.
Yeah. Okay.
To play a mentally challenged man. Basically, he was made fun of his whole life.
To a T.
You know, raised by a single mother with no father. And to complete and to become what that man has become through all the trials and tribulations that he's faced through his life, between, his legs, between his mother, between his lifestyle. I mean, that guy was thought as nobody, as someone who belonged in special education classes.
Yep.
I mean, the guy was a genius in himself. And, he was the guy that would do anything for anybody. And that movie, like I was saying prior, depicted the 50s to a T. There was no flaws.
No.
There was no Camaros in 28s driving around in the 50s. Okay, there was no vans driving around in the 50s.
Well, whoever makes that mistake should be fired. So.
Exactly. Valley Field was amazing in that movie. I mean, he was amazing in that movie, and that's why that movie took home 6 Oscars. Gary Sini's amazing in that movie.
Yep. Everybody was good.
That movie had me drawn in, and I saw that movie in the movies with my grandparents in 1994.
Wow.
I'm a 31-year-old man.
Wow.
I'm born in November. That movie came out in the summer. I was 9 years old.
Wow. Watching Forrest Gump.
I understood everything going on in that movie. That movie was sad. That movie was funny. And that movie had action.
Yep.
And to have a movie done as well as that movie was done, to tie in 3 genres like that, is absolutely incredible.
You talk about like the Triple Crown in baseball, the Triple Crown in baseball, average home runs and RBIs. That movie had everything. Yeah, exactly.
Now, my first movie is not one movie.
Wait a minute. You're skipping over me.
Well,
hold your horses there. Hold your horses there.
No, I'm going with Forrest Gump.
Oh, you're not? Okay.
Now, his third favorite movie is Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
I feel as if the war scenes in Forrest Gump were more action-packed.
What?
And I feel more exciting and more theatrical than the war scenes in Saving Private Ryan. Of course, the opening scene.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Best opening war scene in movie history, and nobody can deny that.
No, well, you just did, basically.
The emotion, the excitement, the suspense, everything tied together made that scene. And then to go into the 70s, and then to show John Lennon being interviewed by Forrest Gump. I mean, how can you do that? It's 1994.
Robert Zemeckis knows how to do that type of stuff.
Incredible. The Elvis Presley scene. See Elvis Presley, and it almost looked just like Elvis. I couldn't even tell. I know there's a little blur. If you watch it again, you can't really see his face.
I honestly thought that was him.
Oh God, I thought that was Elvis Presley.
Yep.
I thought that was Elvis Presley.
I did too.
And don't forget about Bubba Gump.
Yeah. It's his best friend. Well, you forgot about Jenny. I wish I loved the girl like you love Jenny. My God.
Robin right then. Another one. Great in that movie. I mean, I think the whole cast should have got a nomination.
Yeah. Easily.
With Kelty Williamson as Bubba Blue. Amazing. I mean, incredible movie. And you can watch it over and over again.
Oh, you don't get sick of it ever.
You should watch it.
You don't never get sick of it. If you have not watched Forrest Gump, I don't know what you've been doing, living under a rock, because it's always on TV and everything like that. All right, my number 2 movie, The Dark Knight. Another Christopher Nolan on the list. This was a toss-up between, yes, easily. This could be number 1. I had trouble debating with it, but Christopher Nolan is on my list.
It's a top 10.
No,
I mean, I was definitely on a top 10 list.
It is. It is number 2 for me.
There's a lot of holes.
Yeah. Well, they're really
number 1 comic book movie, hands down.
It is.
Number 2 movies.
For me, it is. Sorry.
All right. Well,
it's my opinion.
Explain to the audience why. And audience, please feel free to leave comments as to if you feel The Dark Knight is the number 2 movie.
Well,
of all time.
if they don't like my opinion, they could go fuck themselves. Just saying. But
folks, we're going to be doing this every day, and then we're going to have a top 20 list. We're going to have a top 15 list. We want to know your opinions. We want to know what you think.
Yeah, because this could be a little controversial topic.
We want to get different callers on the show.
Yeah, we can do callers. But well, how can you not start off with the Oscar winner, Heath Ledger, who tragically passed away.
Oh, he's definitely
overdosed.
Top 5 character of all time.
Oh, he's maybe top 3, easily. Maybe number 1.
All right, we can maybe. You can't put him as number 1 yet.
Yeah, all right. We'll do a list on villains and all that, like a top 5 list on villains. He'll be up there. He'll be number 1 on villains. But okay, and you got again Christopher Nolan. You can't depict a comic book movie better than he just did, or he did in that trilogy, at all. It's the most realistic comic book movie I've ever seen. He brought the world, like a comic book world, to real life. The way, like, it was like a heist movie. It wasn't a comic book movie. It didn't feel like it was over the top.
You're absolutely correct.
Over the top. It wasn't like a Marvel movie, which I love. Marvel movies are the best, but you won't find a Marvel movie in my top 5. So Christopher Nolan did his job here, and Batman Begins was great. You really didn't care for Batman Begins. I did. Dark Knight. I had problems with Dark Knight Rises. I thought there was holes in Dark Knight Rises, but yeah, I love the trilogy. Probably the best Batman that we'll ever have. So, if you have
you know what, I can agree with you there. It is the Godfather of superhero movies.
Yeah.
And the way that film was done, it wasn't done like a Marvel Avengers or a Marvel Guardians movie. It was done as a dark,
drama,
sadistic crime story.
Yep.
That almost had real life implications to it.
Mm-hmm. We could go into like to
watching that movie. You don't feel like you're watching a comic book movie. I'll tell you that.
No. You believe Batman's real. You believe Batman's real.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, I could definitely agree with that.
Yep.
Without a doubt.
That is it.
I go on to my top movies. You guys probably all know who I'm leaning towards.
Oh,
and I said I'm going to have 2 movies because they're continuations. And it could be one. I'm going with Godfather 1, and I'm going to go with Godfather 2.
Mm.
And the reason why I'm going with Godfather 1 and Godfather 2 is because Francis Ford Coppola was an absolute fucking genius. Marlon Brando's role was a role that could probably never, ever be done on a silver screen again. What he had to endure doing that movie was completely phenomenal. He won that award hands down, and he didn't even accept that award. That's how much he cared.
Yeah.
He knows he was the greatest actor from the 1940s to the 1960s. I mean, the guy's phenomenal. I mean, the guy had to change his voice completely for that movie. He could have lost his voice box doing that movie almost. He had to sound like a smoker of 40 years. I mean, that movie depicted what the mob was during the 30s through the 50s. Exactly how the mob was during the 30s and the 50s. No flaws, acting phenomenal. It brought up so many stars, gave so many different stars their careers just from that single movie by itself. Marlon Brando was already established. James Caan was not established. Came up, became what he was in that movie. Robert Duvall, he had movies prior to that, but that was the movie that put him over the edge and made him the celebrity that he was.
Pacino.
Okay? Yeah, go ahead.
No, Pacino.
And yeah, last but not least, Al Pacino. But you also have to include Diane Keaton.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Tyler Shire, I believe. He did Rocky. The movie is.
Oh, yeah.
You guys probably seen.
Adrian.
Different. Who?
Adrian. Yeah, Rocky.
Yeah, Adrian. The movie brought actors into their acting careers. But not only just that, the storyline itself was completely amazing. Okay, it took home 3 Oscars, which was like, wow, 3 Oscars. Definitely should have won Best Picture, which did. Best Written. It was based on material because Mario Puzo was the genius behind the movie and wrote the book. And I forgot what the book was called, but let's look it up.
Mario Puzo?
Mario Puzo, the Godfather book. He wrote that book in 1969. 3 years later, he published the movie.
Wow.
So, I mean, if you guys are book fanatics, I'm not. I like to see things live. I like to see things visually. Read the book, watch the movie.
He's plugging a lot of books.
So, yeah, if you're hesitant to watch the movie, watch the movie. Listen to the lyrics. You have to be smart to watch it. You have to know a few things or two about a few things, but you have to watch it. It's completely phenomenal. Everyone's acting was amazing.
Very
in that
long.
movie. And that Brando was completely phenomenal. You had James Caan with a best supporting role. You had Duvall with a best supporting role, and Pacino. And there was kind of a feud going on between Pacino and Marlon Brando, because Marlon Brando should have actually been nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Pacino should have been Best Actor in a leading role. Even if Marlon Brando won, which he would have, because he's definitely a top 3 character of all time.
Seems like you're avoiding somebody here. It seems like you're avoiding somebody here.
Oh, I'm avoiding The Godfather 2. I haven't even got into that. The Godfather 2 started Robert De Niro's career. Now,
yeah, that's what I thought you were. I thought you were avoiding him.
Robert De Niro did not have one word of English throughout that whole movie. That whole movie was spoken in Italian. Not the whole movie, but
him.
The scenes where they cut back to Vito Corleone as a child, growing up into Vito Corleone. Robert De Niro only spoke Italian.
Wow.
Which was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, to do a full, and that's a 3 hour and 22-minute movie.
Incredible.
Bruno Kirby got his, you guys probably know Bruno Kirby from the original City Slickers.
Oh, yeah.
Who was opposite Billy Crystal. That started his career. A lot of other stars. Adam Sandler had him in a lot of different movies. I forgot it. Dominic Chianese from The Sopranos. He actually got his break in that movie. He'd done some movies prior to that. But that actually recognized Dominic and got him the role in The Sopranos. See, The Sopranos is like the Godfather of television. hands down. And Breaking Bad is right up there. Different kind.
I think we'll have a little debate about that, but
yeah, well, if you're going to tune into the next episode, there's going to be a big debate about that. So all you Breaking Bad fans out there, tune in.
And all you Godfather, and all you Sopranos fans, tune in.
Yeah,
all you diehards
fans too out there. I know you're disappointed in that last episode, and I'll be sure to
dive into
explain that last episode to you in depth.
Yeah, because this guy goes in depth.
In a YouTube video or discussion, I will explain it to Abe Vigoda. He was in a couple movies too. He was the old guy in Good Burger too. You guys like that?
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Yep. Well, we're running on time here.
Godfather 1 and 2, 1 and 8, Best Picture.
There you go.
All time. Now we're gonna be doing other segments too, folks. I mean, and this is not just a movie discussion board. This is not just a movie show. We do all sorts of things. We've decided to take each video and
break it up.
Focus on one particular entity. Great, Better Call Saul just premiered.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got some interesting things going on in that show. So we're going to break down and give you our predictions on what's going on. Also give you our predictions for season 3.
Yep.
The episode 1 scene in the Cinnabon, seeing what's going on there. And seeing also if any kind of Breaking Bad fans are going to be reunited, because that's what most people are excited about. All the Breaking Bad fans out there. Probably the greatest show ever on TV.
Yes. And they have been shown this season in Better Call Saul. Some of them I'm not going to spoil, but they're in. So I have my last movie to put in, and that will probably close out the show. And it's different from his, but it is a mob movie. It is my number 1 of all time. It is The Departed. Martin Scorsese. Is he on my list? He is not on my list. This is my first Martin Scorsese film. The Departed was my favorite movie of all time, hands down. Leonardo DiCaprio blew it out of the water, like he always does. Mark Wahlberg killed his role. He got an Oscar nomination for it. Probably should have won it. He killed it in 13 minutes time.
In my top 10 too. That's a great movie.
What's it called? Jack Nicholson killed it. Matt Damon killed it. The ending is just brilliant. I did not expect blah blah to happen. I'm not going to spoil it, but you should have watched it by now. It's 11 years old. No, yeah, it is 11 years old. Jack Nicholson killed it. Alec Baldwin killed it. He was amazing in it. You can go, like you're talking about, the whole cast of what can Forrest Gump can win an Oscar. I think the whole cast of The Departed can win an Oscar. That they were that well directed by Scorsese, and Leonardo DiCaprio will forever be attached to Scorsese in his roles. That is probably my favorite DiCaprio role besides Blood Diamond. Thank you so much for watching. Devatron, D-Money. If you like this video, please leave a like. Tell us your thoughts on your top 10. Toronto!